Alright, everyone, welcome back to Midwest DBS. We're going to do a little quick deck profile on the post errata Broly. Trying to make it work post errata. This deck it seems okay, but definitely still needs some work. So basically, his front side has not changed. When he swings, you draw a card, and then you can choose one card in your life and add it to your hand. So it pluses 2 on the front side, which is pretty good. And Self Awakens. When you're at 4 or less life, you restand 2 of your energy and flip it over. Now this is where the card changes. On this side, when it attacks, it'll still draw a card. It'll still get its auto once per turn. They can switch to one of your opponent's card in rest mode. But the second activate main has changed. Now basically what you can do is you can take a life, and then you can choose one of your Broly BR cards and restand. So you can choose a leader or a Broly BR card that's on the battlefield, not in your energy area. So you can't, even if you have a Broly BR card in your energy area, you can't restand that. So what we did is we basically beefed it up and added some Broly BR cards. And basically a lot of times with its restand ability, you'll just be restanding your leader most of the time unless you're trying to go for game with one of your Broly BR cards. Because still, if you decide to restand with this, you still get to basically draw a card, take a life, restand, draw a card. So it'll still be a strong +3 if you decide to restand this, which is still really strong, just being able to draw 3 cards and swing twice. So our first card, this is green-yellow. We got our Paragus. When you play this battle card from your hand, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck and choose up to one Broly BR card and add it to your hand and shuffle your deck. So basically, all you're going to be using is the first auto. The second auto, you're not going to be really using because you have to have a green Frieza's leader army card, and our leader is yellow. But still, it'll help you find your Broly BRs. That's what that does. Then we got Golemite. Now, since we are playing a lot more Broly BR, this card's really good. It's basically when you combo with this card, you can choose up to one of your Broly BR cards, and it gets additional 5,000 power. So this is going to combo for 10 as long as you pick a Broly BR card. So you can pick any of the battle cards, or you can even pick your leader. It kind of acts as another super combo that doesn't draw. We're going to go into this. Broly preparing for battle. When you play this card, you can pop a 1 energy cost card and KO it, so it can pop pesky things like Kabas and Intensifying Power Trunks, the Krillins, anything like that. If they are playing pesky 1-drops, it can pop it. Now, the good thing is Activate Main is this: your leader card is yellow, Broly BR, which it is. You return this card to your hand, and then you choose up to one of your Broly BRs with the original energy cost of 4 from your hand and play it. Then you negate that card's auto for the duration of turn. So I'll show you a little bit later what this is getting. We're playing the yellow Broly chain, basically. Next is we're playing this counterplay. Vegeta the Cruel. Still good if you have multicolored charge. It costs 1 less. And then what it does is it pops a card that's 4 or less and KOs it. And then your opponent chooses 1 card from their hand and sends it to their warp. With this deck, it is running a little bit more control-y than most other decks. We are playing Swift Retaliation Cooler. This is as good as it gets. This is our battering laser. When we're trying to push for game with the powerful card, we can play this out, and it's a counter card. So when they try to negate your final swing, you play this, and then basically they can't do that. It's hard to make space, but we are still playing 2 of these. Without a lot of untap ability, I cut down the number that we play with these. We're just playing 2, but it's still a good card because it's a 2-cost 10k combo that draws you a card. And since your leader card is yellow, you can switch one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. So this can be played defensively when they swing. You out combo, and then another card they plan on swinging with, you can tap down. And it is a 20k double strike. So once it goes back to your turn, you're trying to push damage, this card can definitely push damage. Super combo. We're using Shu. Basic super combo. It's a 0-10k at any stage in the game. Then if you're at 4 or less life, you also get to draw a card. Another counterplay we're playing is Skill the Sage. I was running Champa in this, but right now, pre the new set, there's not many multicolored green and yellow cards. So, I mean, I am maxing out at 8 at those for the Vegeta the Cruels, but I didn't want to run Champa and that and just get boned if I did not get one. So, Skill the Sage still good. It ignores barrier and it throws their card in rest mode. Is it equal to? Greater. If it's greater than if they're trying to play an energy cost, a card with energy cost greater than the energy they have in play, basically what you do, you play this, you send it to your drop, then it ignores barrier and puts it in rest mode and doesn't untap until the start of your next turn. So it's really good and it's very energy efficient. That's also the main reason why it's in there at 1. So now we're going to go into our yellow Broly chain. If you went Celebrations, you could have got these ones. If not, it's okay. There's a deck that comes with the 4 drops and the 7 drops. This is the card you're trying to cheat in with that green Broly I showed you earlier. Let me show you this one. Just to basically bring this out and negate its skills for the duration of turn. No, it's not skills, it's just auto skill. So that's fine, because this card has no auto skill. So if you bring this out, you can still do the activate main. And the activate main is choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it can't be switched to active mode until your opponent's next turn. So when you play this, you just get to pick one of your opponent's battle cards that's in rest mode, and then it can't be switched back to rest mode to begin the next turn. Also, if you don't cheat it out with this, it has another. You can either just play it for 4, which is not really efficient, but also if the total number of cards in rest mode between you and your opponent is 3, you can reduce energy cost of this hand by 2, so it basically becomes a 2-drop, if that's the case. So you can play it for 2 or cheat it out with that Broly. Next one is our Broly Demonic Intimidation. This card evolves on top of this card for 2, or the same stipulation, has more than 6. It's a little different. So if you and your opponent have more than 6 cards in rest mode, then you can basically make this a 4-drop in your hand. It's auto. When you play this card, you can only activate skills on cards that are green and yellow and no other color for the duration of turn. That's really not a problem because we are a green-yellow deck. And then it's activate main. You choose one card in your hand and place it in your drop. You choose one of your opponent's cards in rest mode, and that card cannot be switched to active mode until the start of your opponent's next turn. So between this and this, you're just still locking down battle cards. Next, you go up to this one. Now, this is an evolved target on the one I just showed you. It evolves for 2 yellow. Also, if you and your opponent has total number of cards from you and your opponent in rest mode are 8 or more, you can reduce the cost by 4, making this a 5-drop. This card does have double strike, and it is 35, so it's pretty big. And so this can push for game. You can restand with your leader. But what it does is it has an activate main. You can choose one card in your hand, place it in your drop. If your opponent has 3 or more energy, choose one of your opponent's cards in rest mode and place it in your drop. So this card can blow up battle cards that are in rest mode. This card can also blow up energy. So this card is very versatile, and it's just big. Now we're going to get into our green-yellow cards. This card's been seeing a lot of play lately. It's really good because it could just come out really quick. It's a rival green-yellow. You can choose one battle card with an energy cost greater or equal than your opponent's current energy and KO it. So that's where you're usually going to be using this mostly, because a lot of people are just trying to bring out Big Ape Baby or just big drops real quick. You rival this in and just pop it. It's dealt with, and you don't have to worry about it. The other ability, which sometimes comes up, is you draw one card, then choose one of your opponent's cards and switch it to rest mode. So you can switch a card to rest mode with this. Draw a card. Then you can use your other Broly's to either keep it in rest mode or blow it up. So that's why this card is especially good in this build. Next card, we're playing 3 of these. Krillin Android 18 Power Couple. This card rivals for a green, and this card is just flat out insanely good. Because what you can do is you get to pick one of these when you rival it, and your opponent chooses one card in their hand and place it in the drop so you can neg them a card from their hand. Or what you're using a lot more probably is choose a keyword skill on one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode and negate skills for duration. So they swing with a nasty double striker or a triple striker. You rival this in, and you get rid of that keyword skill. So it's no longer swinging for triple strike. You can just take the damage or critical or whatever. Wailing Spirit, one of these. This will allow you to search out of your deck. It's just a one-of. A lot of times charging is energy, but I do have this as a one-of as another way to search this out. This will bring this out of your deck, put it directly into play, and negate its auto skill. Has no auto skill, so no big deal. Just another way to start going up your chain. One of these, because we can only play one, guess best counterplay in the game, and negates card skills for the duration of the turn. It's an important thing to remember when you're doing this. If you cold bloodlust a card, and then they swing with that card, and then they try to give it double strike with Champa, they can't do that. Just let it, just for a reminder for everyone, because it negates all skills on it for the duration of turns. So they can't add skills to it if it's already been taken away. Now we're going to go into our negates. We're playing 3-time Magic, because this deck does tap out somewhat early in the game, either to a rival or even defensively when you're trying to out-combo. You bring in a Bardock Ape, you're tapped out, and you just need that extra negate. This is it. Just because aggro's king right now, especially with Baby and Demigra, this is just another card we play. 2 Nimbus, and basically Nimbus will just shut down your opponent's turn if you play it correctly. Well, more likely if they don't play correctly. If they swing at their leader first and you have this in your hand, expecting more attacks, that's when you just pop off that Nimbus and basically cripple the rest of their turn. Playing this, Hidden Powers, E Supreme Kai, or you can play Champa. Basically, this just gives a card double strike. The only difference with this card, you have to declare you're giving it double strike. Just very good card. Extra 10k. Card that doesn't have double strike, like your leader or one of your other battle cards that doesn't have it. Just gives a double strike and gives you more way to close game. Last, now this card could be multiple different things. Mirror Assault from this guy. It's a double strike, 30k, so it's big. This is a good way you're trying to close out a game. It draws you a card, and then if you don't close out the game that turn, you do get a chance to restand an energy to hopefully play defensively and survive. Now this card could be the big 8-drop foo as well. The reason why I just put this one in now is because I didn't want to get overclogged with 1 cost plus combo power. So I've opted with this. This could also be Dimensional Banisher foo, which is also a very good card. So you do have some options, but I would generally probably either play this. If you don't have these, you can play Scientist foo, or you could play the 8-drop foo, or Dimensioner Banisher foo. So they're all pretty good, but I chose with these just because I didn't want to be so heavy on the 1 cost combos. So that's it. This is a card. This is a deck that's for post-banning errata. This deck has just had limited testing. It's done okay, but like I said, there are a lot of improvements that could be done. And when the new set comes out, we're going to get a lot of more green-yellow cards. So, and some of these Broly's are actually pretty high cost, so I don't know if we could fix Successor into it in some way, which I'm sure we could. So, this deck is going to have some changes as soon as I get my hands on some of the new cards. And that's it. Thank you.